Hi everyone, my name is Cydney. Today I will be reporting on the Enlarge well that died due to ship strike off the coast of Sri Lanka during 2010 to 2014, based on my research. Before we start, I need to warn in advance that in this PPT slide, it includes some bloody content, which might be a bit uncomfortable for some. First, what is ship strike? Let me do a quick explanation to let you guys have a better understanding about it. For example, here is one citation, which means well, and that is dropping on the ocean. When it's so close to ocean surface, a cargo drift over and both of them couldn't avoid from this encountering situation. Then this is what happened next. Boom. The whale was being hit by the cargo, and unfortunately, as a whale, leaving a whale carcass at the end. Then, about ship since 80,000, ship strike become fatal to whales. Why? It's because at the time, the speed of a boat starts to reach 13 to 15 knots. When the speed of ship becomes faster and faster, and the number of ships sailing in the ocean becomes more, the accident between ship and whale increasing. The collision between ship whale, which is ship strike, could happen with all types of vessels. As you can see on the right-hand side of the slide, a tank, a cargo, a fishing vessel, and this is cruise ship. All kinds of ships could happen to encounter well and lead to a tragedy result of hitting on it. This knot is a unit of speed equal to 1 nautical mile per hour, exactly 1.852 kilometers per hour. The knot is used in the maritime. Next, talking back to the whale. There are 14 whales in my report, including my blue whales, 1 red whale, 2 breastbone whales, 1 balloon whale, and 1 curious big whale. And on my slide, you could see the picture and the meter, which a brief demonstration about their average depth between different fish. Here's a chart about 14 whales detail. As you can see on the right column, only 3 out of the 14 carcasses were necropsic. Necropsic, which means to explanation and announced detailedly. Only 3 of 14 carcasses were necropsic. The rest 11 whales were assessed only on their external or internal injury, while without further explanation. Here's some interesting discovery. We found that on the southwest coast of Sri Lanka, some cetaceans maybe change their behavior throughout time. For example, some whales are changing their swimming by traveling further away from the littoral. It's possible that the reason of doing so is to avoid from the harassment of large, fast cargo and even the whale watching both nearby. Like this. Change swimming path. As for the difficulties, determining a standard cetacean that runs ship strike is especially difficult in Sri Lanka. But why was it? Here is a reason. There are several changes include remote location of most carcasses, and also some vessels hide the fact of having a ship strike didn't report the collusion between them and the whale because of the reputational reasons. With these above, it's hard to get every record about ship strike that happened around Sri Lanka, which makes the solution this dangerous situation for whale more difficult. Well, what Sri Lanka should do for now? The most important is that to raise awareness now. Not only the government, but also the local residents should know that in the future, the maritime traffic will only become busier than before. There are going to have larger vessels, more and more ships sailing around the world. Aside from the ship vessel will affect whale's natural behavior and the local ecosystem. It is necessary to collect more data about ship strike in order to estimate the situation and develop a solution for the good of both people of Sri Lanka and the whales in the ocean. This is end of my presentation. Thanks for listening. Denver.
So you mentioned 14 whales in your report, but you didn't really talk about those 14 whales in your presentation. So can I talk more about these 14 whales?
So what is his comment?
His question is more about 14 whales.
Yeah.
In this chart, you can see here 14. In this 14 straight ship strike, you can see only 3. Only 3 for necroplastic. This is because the local government not interested about it because they're
one more minute addressing this question. Do you have other things other than these things that you already said during the talk? Other points that you would like to make? You want to read through?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. In this chart, you can see this carcass condition code. Is this code? You couldn't see this because they were fried from strip strike, and only 3 were necropressing, and the other 11 walls just could see the external or internal injury, please.
All right, I stop here. Tanya.
In this page, why have 3 files didn't have left?
Repeat.
Why 3 files didn't have left?
Have what?
Left.
This. Land.
Not left.
Repeat your question again.
Why 3 files didn't have
Land.
Okay.
Repeat the question.
My question is why of 3 that didn't show?
What?
Didn't show on this chart.
No, that's not the question. Repeat your question again.
why 3 files didn't have left?
Why free will didn't have land?
Then this or this.
Yeah.
Because this flow point is several decomposition. This means the wild body is so broken, so that can do exterminated.
Howard, come back to you later. Alan,
Hey, can you show us again the chart about 40 whales? And I saw your date is from 2010 to 2012, but your experiment is from 2010 to 2014. Why?
This question, I didn't know too.
消失那2年。
Jimmy,
Does any severe effect before the crash?
repeat your question again.
Does any severe effect after the whale and ship crash?
Do you understand his question?
Yes, sir.
Does any severe effect after well and ship crash?
Repeat.
Does any severe event in ship and wells, right?
Yes. Yes.
You can see this picture because the ship almost so bigger than well, you know. The ship is so strong, so the well almost injury, have injuries. Then
No?
yes, no.
Howard?
You didn't really mention the material methods and results in your presentation. Can you give me a brief explanation for that? For your, I mean, can you introduce your material and methods and results briefly to me?
Repeat his question.
His question is information, result, and material
The method.
and method break down.
Or
Do you understand his
道歉。
Yeah, you tell us where is any slide for material method? Is there? No, this one doesn't look like a material method slide. And is there a result slide?
No, this slide.
Well, slide 6 is your result slide. You know? All right, come back to that later. Okay, repeat this.
what is the main reason that these whales cannot notice the coming ship?
What is this question?
Just say again.
What is the main reason that these whales cannot notice the ship?
Sure.
Cannot aware the ship.
This question is why this way cannot open
Notice.
notice already sure.
It's a coming ship.
词汇也很大。
In my research, the 14 rows, you can see these two rows size is too big. So you can see row is almost less than its size too bigger, so it can avoid this situation.
In general, Cydney's slides, you see that her slides are, for those presented, you see that they are full of images like these. However, starting from the results part, I see space for improvement. So first of all, I would say that please add a clear purpose slide. So what is the purpose? Give a statement. Usually, I think I have repeated that many times. Please give us a statement of the purpose. Otherwise, we have no idea what this study wanted to achieve. So purpose statement, and then usually we added a slide talking about what is the approach used to achieve the purpose, and I think this study is mostly based on, well, the material method is really short, you see, but still she can mention something, especially remember there's a figure talking about the location where the whale's body were found, or the carcass. So I think this one should be mentioned. So the method is mostly based on previous report on the stranded whale carcass. Okay? And you should at least mention this map to tell us that, okay, they were found post-mortem and their body were examined. And then this one should be added, and I think this one should be also added to tell us why this problem is especially harsh for Sri Lanka, because you see the traffic, the maritime traffic is so busy. This is maybe the second, third, fourth paper I heard during years regarding whale strike in Sri Lanka. You see how serious the problem is. So you should at least mention this map. And then regarding the results, I know that there are not so many results, so that's why I say the main result is this summary of table. And when during the QA you saw that the audience, they were really interested in this table, and I think what's really, first of all, I would say try not to copy and paste table from the paper. When doing so, you are not really paying close attention to what is really in this table. So you should remake this table and emphasize the key information. For example, if you want to say blue whale is the key victim, I probably will make blue whale the text in blue. So you see they are the key victim, right? And then another key issue, I think, from this paper is they try to say what kind of injuries have been identified as sea strike. So here you just say, which three victims were that word is necropsy. This is to examine the dead body. That means necropsy, right? And then, however, to me the key issue is what kind of injury they have. Otherwise, whales, they strand on shore for many different reasons. How do they know they are the victim of sea strike? So maybe you can tell us some example, and ideally, maybe you could, because at the beginning you warned us there are bloody images, where are they? All right, so if I were you, I would definitely make these bloody images really big and point to the injuries that have been documented in previous reports, so that we know they are victims, so that they know they are the victim of sea strike. I think these are the key information of this research. So since you did not make 10 minutes, I see that you need to add more information next time to, I think the artwork or the ways of presentation itself is no problem. So the main improvement for you next time is to add more solid material inside the talk. Okay, thank you, Cydney.